Hello tiny house people. If you've just come here from video 1 in the let's see if we can build a tiny house in 14 days video, you'll probably realise that we had a problem with the supply of panelling. 6 days late, which slowed us down in the build, and then when it arrived we discovered as we were using the panels that some panels had been cut incorrectly. We've worked around a lot of it, but one of the problems that we can't work around is that they've cut the long 7.2 metre roofing strips to the internal length of the house, not the external length of the house. So we're 200 millimetres too short with some very important components. There's not much that we can do about it. We've made them aware of it. They're cutting us some new ones. That's going to take about 4 days. Then they're going to deliver them. That's probably going to take another 4 or 5 days to get them here. Quite frankly, it's a damn nuisance. We're not going to make in real time our goal, but in actual worked time, we've still got a chance of getting in under the 14 days. It'd be fun for me if I could do that, just to see if it can be done, because I stuck my neck out and I said to somebody that I could do it. So I've got to see what I can manage. Anyway, in the meantime, I'm here inside a partially completed 24 foot, that's 7.2 metres, tiny house. Now the interesting thing about this one is that it is 3 metres wide and it's still fully road legal. That's because the 3 metre width is the width of the load, not the actual trailer. The trailer underneath is just a normal road registered galvanised skeleton trailer, and this home has been bolted to it with a series of bolts down either side of the chassis. It can be lifted with the high quality jacks that we've got on each corner, and the trailer can be pulled out from underneath and taken in for servicing or warranty fitness checks at any time without the house having to be moved. The internal walls, we've been working on those. The internal walls are those of the bathroom and toilet. Michelle, the owner of the house, has opted for separate rooms, which I think is a great idea. Keeps your bathroom absolutely pristine. Michelle's decided on a large, full-size domestic shower, and there's still room on this side behind me for a mirror, vanity, shelving system and towel rails. So it's a very well thought out design. We haven't got the loft floor on here yet. The loft floor will come over this room. We'll just take a look back at the partially completed loft. I'm down here in the bathroom, and just over here we have a separate toilet. I'll walk backwards just for effect. Through the small walkway into here, and we're entering the kitchen. We haven't got any windows here yet, but this is the front of the trailer, and we'll have a large window here with a full width bench, 3 metres, and a family size fridge in the corner here, and the stove will be placed somewhere along this bench. Michelle's not sure yet, but the sink is going to be here with another window, and that will probably have a return around here with lots of cupboards in the corner there. Walking back through here, we're coming out into the lounge area, which is very open with glass on both sides. We've got a run slider here, and over this side we've got an access door where the side panel can also be released and opened as well. The craft loft up here, not a lot of headroom. Most of the time Michelle's going to be sitting down doing her work, so there's no need for a lot of headroom, but we're managing a good height at this end. Anyway, thank you for joining me in video 2. Let's get started. The first thing we're going to be chatting about is the braking system. So, into the shed. Right, the braking system we're using is a 2.5 ton hydraulic braking system. I've got all the components here, and we will be converting it at a later date to electric over hydraulic, which means that this coupling will be replaced at some time in the future and the electric actuator will be fitted. That way we can stay with disc brakes and have an electrical system instead of using those god-awful drum brakes that most electrical systems use. This will mean that we've got a full 3.5 ton plus system with breakaway, parking brakes and adjustment from inside the cab. Anyway, what we've got here are the stubs and the calipers. The discs are in these boxes here. Let's grab some scissors and find out where we're at. All the bearings. Right, starting at this end, we've got the hydraulic hoses and the master cylinder with the handbrake. Down here we've got the heavy-duty stub axles that go into the end of the axles themselves. These brackets carry the brake calipers. Here we have the brake rotors or discs, 2 of those, 2 calipers, a bag of all the new bearings, and we're ready to go. I'm going to mount this coupling to the removable drawbar, which means manufacturing a plate to mount it onto. And from then on we'll be underneath the vehicle, taking off the plain hubs and adding these disc hubs, which will probably take me the rest of the afternoon. Right, that's the tow bar done. Actually, I shouldn't call it a tow bar, I should call it a drawbar. The tow bar is the bit that's bolted to the vehicle. Right, outside and onto the trailer. I've been ripping into this build and I haven't paid a lot of attention to the material itself. The material itself is called PolyPanel. Some people describe it as SIPS, which is a structurally insulated panel, but technically it's not. SIPS are made of wood. This has a thin steel sheathing on either side that's powder coated and very, very durable. The inside is a varying thickness core of polystyrene. That core can be anything from 50mm to, in this case, 100mm or even 150mm for actual freezers and chillers. Most people use the 50 or 75, but because this is a larger tiny house with open span living and not too many cupboards, staircases or internal walls, we've opted to go for the thicker wall. You'll see that there is no chance of thermal conduction because quite simply there is no bridging from one skin to the other, as is the case with traditional building systems. PolyPanel uses a nice rolled swaged tongue and groove system for the join, which you'll see here in detail, and on the top skin it leaves a not unattractive body line. Now, by running the panels along the build horizontally, you can eliminate a lot of unnecessary joins, making a more rigid and leak-proof structure. Thanks for joining me for another one of my videos. This has been Tiny House Offgrid Resources. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of this, why not subscribe to the channel? Bye for now.